Christ's kingdom of peace and culmination of creation, song of praise and new harmony of creation. Revelations of Jesus Christ from 1884 to 1950. The Consummation of Creation. I am preparing the valley where all my children must unite for the great universal judgment. I shall judge with perfection. My love and charity shall envelop humanity. And on that day you shall find salvation and the balm for your ills. If today you atone for your faults, allow your spirit to purify. Thusly will you be prepared to receive from me the inheritance that I have destined for each of you. My love will unite all men and all the worlds. Before me will disappear the differences in races, languages, and lineages, and even the differences which exist in the spiritual evolution. My spirit has poured out over every spirit, and my angels are sown all over the universe, fulfilling my mandate of putting all in order and bringing all again to its proper channels. And when all have fulfilled their missions, ignorance will have disappeared, evil will no longer exist, and only good will reign over this planet. All of the worlds in which my children are perfecting themselves are like an infinite garden. Today, you are tender bushes, but I promise you that the crystalline waters of my teachings will not be lacking, and with its watering, you shall continue growing in wisdom and love, until one day in eternity, when the trees are crowned with fully mature fruit, the divine gardener shall revel in his work, tasting the fruits of his own love. I wish that, at the end of the struggle, when all my children have reunited to spend eternity in the spiritual home, they shall participate in my infinite happiness as the Creator, taking into account that each of you have taken part in the divine work, building or rebuilding. Only in the spiritual will you discover that of all that I have created since the beginning, nothing has been lost. That in me all lives again, all grows and is renewed. And so, if so many beings were lost for so long, if many, instead of works of life, created works of destruction, they shall find that the time of their disturbance was fleeting, and their works, as bad as they were, shall find repair in the eternal life, to be made into collaborators of my unceasingly creative work. What are a few centuries of sin and darkness, such as humanity has had on Earth, if you compare them to eternity, with the endless time of evolution and peace? You have parted from me by means of your free will, and you shall return, induced by the conscience. This world is not eternal, nor is it necessary that it be so. When this dwelling ceases to have the reason it now has to exist, it will disappear. When your spirit no longer needs the lessons that this life gives, because other, more elevated lessons await it in another world, then, with the light acquired in this struggle, it will say, "How clearly I understand now that all the vicissitudes of this life were only experiences and lessons that I needed in order to understand better. How long this journey appeared to me in the moments when suffering drained my strength. But now, in contrast, when all is in the past, how brief and fleeting it appears before eternity." I have received tribute from all creation, from the greatest of heavenly bodies to the beings least perceptible to your gaze. All is subject to evolution. All moves, all progresses, all is transformed, elevated, and perfected. When it has reached the peak of perfection, my spiritual smile, like an infinite aurora, shall be in all the universe, from which all stains, all misery, all pain, and all imperfection will have passed. The song of praise for the restored harmony of creation. In my spirit there is a hymn whose notes none have heard. It is unknown to any in heaven or earth. That song shall be heard in all the universe when pain, misery, darkness, and sin have been extinguished. Those divine notes shall find echo in all spirits, joining the Father and the children in that song of harmony and happiness. I wish to raise myself triumphant in you. I wish you to behold the King of armies as your Father, victorious over your evil, and yourselves as soldiers filled with spiritual dignity, filled with satisfaction and peace. Then shall you hear the hymn of universal harmony in the greatest of victories, the triumph that must come, but of which neither your Father nor you shall be offended to be a conqueror through your love. Our defeated enemies shall not be the spirits, but evil, all darkness, and all sin and imperfections. The victory of the Father shall be in the salvation of all the backward spirits, mired in darkness and evil. You are mistaken if you believe any will be lost. I would cease to be God if even one spirit did not find salvation. All those whom you call demons are also spirits who sprang from the Father, and if today they are in confusion, they too shall find salvation. When shall the true light be in them? When you, united to the legions of the spirits of the light, combat their ignorance and sin with your prayer and with your works of love and charity. The perfect happiness for both you and the Father will be the great day of the Lord. The universal feast shall be when all of you sup at his table on the bread of eternal life. Have I not told you that you are the heirs to my glory? You need only to earn merit for it to be yours to enjoy. All that I have created has not been for me, but for my children. I only long for your enjoyment and your eternal happiness. All of the energy that has animated the beings and given life to the organisms, and all the light that has illuminated the worlds shall return to me, and all the beauty spilled out over the realms of creation shall be in the Spirit of the Father. And once within me again, that life shall be transformed into a spiritual essence that will be poured out once more over the spiritual beings, the children of the Lord, for you shall never be disinherited of the gifts I have given you. Wisdom, eternal life, harmony, infinite beauty, kindness, and all this and more will be in all children of the Lord when they dwell with him in the perfect mansion.